earlier, but they were catching all the snow, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
See, this is the type of day where you need to leave the lashes off if you're going to go play in the snow.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing this in the wind.
Right. It is coming down out there still, though, Peyton.
Every time we come to you, I see less and less of that stick.
Yeah, I'm getting a little nervous, right? Okay, so this is something I set up, and you're going to hear so many different versions of what snow is being picked up. Paul did a measurement earlier in front of the French Quarter. The reason you're going to have so many different measurements is because if you're measuring anywhere near the surface of a street, the surface is still holding some ambient temperature from days before, so it did melt early on. It's probably cold enough now that it's not really melting. This setup I have was a literal snowboard setup. You put a stick on a board, you put this board away from anything, as far away from buildings as possible, and this is elevated, so it's not dealing with any ambient temperature from the ground, and I really haven't had any melting with this. Now, I do think there is some drifting going on. When you have strong winds, it's really hard to get an extremely accurate snow total count, but this has not seen any melting, and the entire deck that this is on is fairly uniform. I checked some pictures, and I'm sitting at 8 inches. Now, I went and measured the front of the house, which is a balcony, and it's a bit windier there, and that was sitting at 6 inches. So right now, it's a good guess that we've picked up anywhere from probably 6 to 8 inches of snow in the French Quarter. This is in the quarter, by the way, and I've been watching this all day. The past 2 hours, it has really accumulated fairly quickly. We are getting into that zone of historic, and we always talk about 1895 because that is referenced as the biggest snowstorm recorded in New Orleans. Ought to have been recorded like 10 inches with that storm. And some of the measurements, it's questionable back then. We didn't know exactly how these measurements were done for some of the sites, so take it with a grain of salt. But either way you slice it, this will go down as, for, well, hopefully a once-in-a-lifetime storm for our area. And we're not done. Oh my gosh, we got, what time is it? It's 1:50 here, and we've still got a lot of snow to push through the area. The back end of the snow is still back towards Lafayette. When I tell you that you've got to check off so many boxes in order to get a significant snow, not just in New Orleans, but all the way down to the coast. I just checked the camera down in Grand Isle. There is snow on the beach in Grand Isle right now. Now, when you look at it a bit closer here, you can see the North Shore, you are getting breaks. We're not seeing nearly as much snow across the North Shore, but the South Shore, it's still coming down, and we've got to clear out this heavy batch of rain back through the Atchafalaya Basin before things wind down. It's 2 o'clock. I think we still have another 2 to 3 hours of accumulation, which means we could see an additional couple of inches of snow on what we already have. Our high-resolution models, and I was looking at these the past few days, and they were throwing out some just insane numbers. I'm not sure we're going to reach the 12 and 13 inches anywhere, but it is certainly possible that we do see some of those 7, 8, 9, 10-inch range somewhere across the area. It still thinks, and this is additional snow on what we already have, we could pick up anywhere from 2 to 4 extra inches of snow here south of the lake. North of the lake, maybe 1 to 3 inches of extra snow, maybe an extra 3 inches in Gulfport, extra 3 inches over in Mobile. This is going to go down. It's just blowing my mind. It really is. I did not think it was going to be as much as what we are seeing right now. You forecast these things, but you think, okay, you know, I've been through many snowstorms in my life that just don't materialize, and this one seems to be the overachiever. You know what's funny? Last week I said that, I posted on Facebook, I said, yes, I know the Apple app is showing we're getting 9 inches of snow in New Orleans. You have a better chance of winning the Powerball than that happening. We probably should have played the lottery. You know what? We still have time. All right, go get a Powerball ticket here. Whitney, get a Powerball ticket. I'm telling you. And I'll admit, the Apple app, it may have beat us on this one early on, but we did latch on, and so far the forecast is verifying. The snow is going to continue for several more hours. Once we get to around 5 o'clock, the snow finally starts to wind down. Now, this is when I'm going to get a little bit nervous about this winter storm. So far, it's been beautiful. It's been fun. We're joking, but we really need you to make sure you are running a stream tonight with the faucets. You already should be doing that because temperatures are in the mid-20s right now, and we're only going to get colder as we go into tonight. This is one model, but it gives you a good idea. This model has been a bit aggressive with snowpack, which is materialized. So you can see there, low temperatures tomorrow morning could be in the upper single digits and low teens on the North Shore. Obviously, that is a significant hard freeze. That is a dangerous freeze, especially if your power goes out. Now, south of the lake, we're probably not going to see any single digits, but we will likely see some upper teens, especially in neighborhoods that have a lot of snowpack. If the winds are calm enough and if the skies are clear, your temperatures will drop like a rock. I mean, they will fall so quickly with those clear skies and snowpack. It's literally a refrigerator or an ice box here. Now, on the bayou parishes and out in the river parishes, you're probably going to get close to some mid-teens. So this is a pipe freeze all across the area. I even think there's a chance that we see some hard freezes closer to the coastal areas. The only spot that may not have a hard freeze is right there along the mouth of the river. Now tonight, or rather to this afternoon, it's 155 and temperatures are remaining steady. They haven't warmed up much. We're sitting in the mid-20s across the south shore, the mid to upper 20s across the north shore, and you've got the 20s in Baton Rouge, you've got the 20s in Gulfport. So this is why you already need to be running that stream on your faucet in your house here, and because, well, we're not warming up at all. Temperatures are going to continue to fall. The wind chill, it's still a big factor. Everyone out there playing in the snow, you can feel the wind blowing. We don't officially have a blizzard warning, but it feels like a blizzard out there this afternoon, and the winds are going to continue to blow that snow around, and that's also why it's so hard to get these accurate measurements across the area. I do want to mention, if you weren't up early this morning, we saw something that has never been recorded before, and it was the National Weather Service over in Lake Charles. They did have a blizzard warning this morning for Lake Charles and Lafayette. First time that's ever happened. First time I've ever seen a blizzard warning all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. We don't have a blizzard warning for our area, but it feels like it, and we still have our winter storm warning. That's going to go until tonight. So once this winter storm warning ends, it'll end once the snow ends. That does not mean the impacts are over. Those impacts then become the pipe problems and refreezing. If you've been out there this afternoon, you're probably driving on some of these roads going, isn't too bad. You know, when you get just a pure snow event, when you drive on it during the day, it just becomes a slush, which isn't too bad traction-wise. Now, once you get into the overnight hours, that slush, it just doesn't disappear. It refreezes into a solid chunk of ice on the roads, and that takes some time to defrost. And a lot of times, that little slushy area may be just a thin glaze in some areas, and that is black ice, and that may be with us for several mornings. That's probably why tomorrow morning, I think tomorrow morning is going to be more dangerous driving than this morning. This morning we had the fresh snow, not too bad. Tomorrow morning we could have some really big problems, so do not expect to travel Wednesday morning. We really don't get above freezing until around noon. So if you are dripping or running a stream on your faucet, by tomorrow afternoon you'll be able to turn them off briefly. We'll get some sunshine in here. The sun will do a lot more than you think it will on those frozen streets. Even though temperatures are going to be cold, we do expect quite a bit of thawing across the area, but still some ice then refreezes, or water refreezes, into Wednesday night and early Thursday morning. So that's just what you're going to be dealing with. Now, once we get into tomorrow morning, we're not done with the freezes. Yes, tomorrow is going to be the absolute worst of it. I think Thursday morning, we still have that hard freeze potential. I'm still forecasting maybe some upper teens across the North Shore, mid-20s across the South Shore here. That's Thursday morning, and we may still have some cancellations Thursday morning if there's still ice on the roads. Friday morning, I hate to report it, we still are dealing with some freezes and probably still some snow in areas, especially since we've seen so much. It is going to take some time to melt. If there's a shaded area near your house, I can bet you that there's going to be snow on the ground till this weekend, because we do not really warm up until Sunday morning. We're in the 40s. That'll feel great. Sunday afternoon, we're in the 60s. Monday morning, we wake up in the 50s, but we've got a storm system inbound. I think we're going to have some rain as we head into the end of the weekend and early next week. So we will see the snow continue. If you're just joining us, snow is expected to continue for several more hours. Here on the South Shore, we are probably going to add another several inches of snow. We are really getting into that historic zone where we are seeing as much snow as we've ever seen in New Orleans. Tomorrow morning is dangerously cold. Don't plan to be out there in it. If you do, you've got to have extra blankets in the car. I think travel tomorrow is going to be even more dangerous than what we're seeing right now, because all that slushy mess refreezes. 37 and sunny tomorrow. We'll defrost some, and then by Thursday morning, everything refreezes that didn't evaporate. And then Friday morning, anything that didn't evaporate still refreezes, and then we'll gradually get away from those freezing temperatures as we head into the end of the weekend. And so if you want some warmer weather, buckle up. It's not going to get here until the end of the weekend and early next week. Marine forecast, I can't imagine really anyone's on the Gulf of Mexico this afternoon. We've got gale warnings in effect. Winds have been gusting 35 knots on average. At the lakefront, we were gusting to nearly 50 miles an hour this morning. We had basically tropical storm conditions with Snow. That's essentially what you call a blizzard. As we go into tomorrow, still a little choppy with a northeast wind, but by Thursday the winds settle down. But we still have that Arctic north wind, so it's not going to warm up much at all. Looking at your tides, if that's relevant to your day at all right now, high tides are going to happen this evening. Low tides will be, well, they happened earlier this morning. Our water temperatures, the lake is sitting at 50 degrees, a little chillier. The Gulf is currently sitting at 44 degrees.